All right, and we are live. Greetings, colleagues. It's your favorite optometrist,
Hi.
Dr. Darryl Glover, and welcome to the first episode of this new series known as Hanging with Your Favorite Optometrist. Today is very special because I'm hanging out with a star in eye care. You guys know her as New York Eye Doc, and her true name, real name is Dr. Damaris Raymondi. Dr. Raymondi, how are you doing today?
Hi, Dr. Darryl Glover. I'm doing good. How's everyone? Hi, everyone. I'm doing okay. It's 6:30 right now, and it's still sunlight out, so longer hours, moving into spring.
I know. Spring feels a little different this year due to COVID-19, right?
Oh, yeah. I guess it's my birth month. I was born in May 21st, so
Oh,
I'm all
nice.
excited.
Well,
Yeah.
happy early birthday.
Thank you. Thank you.
What are you going to do?
I'm going to be thankful that I have my parents, that we have not been affected by this, and as other people have in our borough. Thankful that I have my family. Just like have some ice cream.
Awesome, awesome. Well, you're right. You're blessed.
So
COVID-19 has
blessed.
been,
Like,
a complete nightmare. But there's some great things that can come out of this. I know, like for me personally, I've been able to, work out more, hang out with family more, and get a lot of, self-reflection done, and just try to better myself overall. So, I'm not gonna just look at it with negative eyes, a negative lens. There's a lot of positive things that have come out of this, of course, as well. But for you guys that are listening, that's tuned in, again, this is a new series. And with this series, we're going to take a little spin from our typical podcast. This is more of just hanging out with colleagues, getting to know each other, talking that talk, talking trash to each other, just living a good life. All right. So we're going to have fun on this. If you guys have any questions, feel free to fire away. Hell, we may even
yes.
bring you in on the podcast this evening to hang out with us. So feel free to ask any questions that you may have. Dr. Ramondi, before we get started, I would love for the world just to know who you are. So if you don't mind just telling the listeners, the followers, the viewers, who you are, how you got started with optometry, and just your love of the eye care industry.
Who I am?
Yeah.
I'm a fun girl.
Uh-oh.
That's what
I
I
like
am.
it. I'm a fun guy as well, so we match perfectly.
Yeah. I'm an optometrist. I graduated from SUNY Optometry, class of 2015.
Nice.
And right now I work at the New York City Health and Hospital System. Really loving it, loving the patients, not seeing them anymore, but still keeping in touch with them. And it's just absolutely amazing. What our patients have been through, what I have been through. We can't ignore the fact that we're going through something just completely incredible in this time and age. And I don't know, I'm just thinking about my city. I was born and raised in Queens, and this is the epicenter of the pandemic. And for me, I just want to give a huge shout out to all the parents. I'm not a parent myself, but I have not seen like a single kid outside
Oh wow, that's
at
that's
all.
major
And
for
that's
New York.
amazing to
Yeah.
think that so many people have been able to safely keep their kids at home and just like let essential workers, do their thing. I've still been going to work. I've had to show up every day, and yeah.
So let's talk about that a little bit more because I know everyone's interested in learning about what's actually taking place in New York with COVID-19, being that it is an epicenter. I mean, I saw on the news the other day that you guys are no longer doing this. You're coming down, which is a great thing, and you're
Yes.
still holding everything down as far as all the restrictions. I kind of wish all the other states would still take your lead because it makes sense. We're seeing it decline. A lot of states are still doing this, but they're starting to, relax the restrictions, which does not make any sense to me
It
whatsoever.
doesn't. So
You
many
know?
people work across different state lines, and not just in the tri-state area, like
That's
everywhere
true.
else, all through the Northeast.
Yeah,
So it really, I mean, I'm the decisions that our governor has had to make and our mayor has had to make are absolutely incredible because they're difficult.
yeah,
But people work in New Jersey, people live in New York, they live in Connecticut, they have family in Florida.
yeah,
It You can't really stop someone from traveling, but it's just so complicated. And
yeah,
maybe we should have all been on the same page with this,
yeah.
right? With
I
lifting
agree.
restrictions. It's hard to be excited about reopening. Queens alone has lost 5,000 people
Oh
who
wow.
are like proven cases due to this.
Wow. Wow.
And again, I'm lucky. I don't know of anyone
Hmm.
who has tested positive. My father had just found out about one like acquaintance who passed, and then he has his nephew who died from COVID who lives in Brazil. So,
Wow.
but that's just, it's again, it's hard to be excited about it. And yeah, lifting restrictions. I don't know what the right answer is. I don't know what the right thing
Right.
to
Well, I can
do
tell
is,
you this.
but
Your
yeah,
governor's been doing a hell of a job up there. I mean, he's always on the news, and I just like the way he talks. The way he handles himself, and
he inspires so many fun memes.
oh
It's
man,
good stuff.
but he's really looking out for you guys' safety, which
Yeah.
is a beautiful thing because it could be like the was it the mayor or governor of Las Vegas? She was just like, "Come on, all right, come on in." I'm
Oh
like,
my
"Hey,
gosh, no.
changing the
You know what I
time."
saw recently that really reminded me of the optometry community? The United Federation of Teachers put out like this Facebook post. I don't know if they're nationwide or if they're just New York, but anyways, the New York chapter of them,
Yeah.
they said there is no way that the only way we are opening our doors in September is that if we can make sure that every single child in the New York City public school system is going to be safe.
Oh
and
wow.
and they were like, we did this without a plan, we lost 80 members, there's no way we're opening up any earlier.
Yeah.
And it was just really encouraging the way that they just all like banded together. It just, like, I don't know, it reminded me of us.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, hey, you gotta love it. If you don't mind, just kind of paint the picture when you're going to work because I know whenever I go to New York for Vision Expo, the city is just crowded anywhere you go at any time of the day, any
Mhm.
time of the night. When you go to work, I mean, is it like crickets out there now, or what is it the environment like?
Well, initially, it only was crickets really from my experience going from Queens to the city. It was only crickets for like 2.5 weeks.
Okay.
I was still taking the subway against my followers' wishes. They were all like, stop taking the subway. And
Well,
I'm like,
I
but
was
that's how
seeing it the other day. They're doing this whole like super rub down now. They said it was the first time in I don't want
in
to say 100
115
years.
years.
How many years?
Mm-hmm.
How many years?
115 that they
115
closed.
years. Wow.
Yeah. It's that they shut down the subway overnight from 1 a.m. to 5 a.m., which
Wow.
wouldn't have been good back in when I was in college. But anyways. But no, I have a video of me taking the subway in April 3rd. It was still pretty crowded from Queens, again, a very working class community who is mainly composed of essential workers. Yes, I have seen the midtown photos of ghost towns, but that wasn't the case here.
Okay.
Everyone here works at a hospital. Everyone here is like a restaurant worker or something like that. And everyone was crowding the trains. And as we were losing MTA workers, the trains were just getting fuller. And it was very crowded getting into the city. And then my dad got unemployed, of course. So
Oh.
then he started driving me to work. And that's what we've been doing now, driving back and forth.
Oh, so people drive in New York, huh?
Yeah, I don't. That's why he's driving me. I don't. I'm on the passenger side. I have a driver's license, but no, I'm in the passenger side there. He's driving me, and it was empty roads for like, yeah. So wait, I have my calendar here. So all of April 6th, the week of April 13th. So just as soon as May hit,
Yeah.
everyone was like, "It's May, forget it. Everybody's out now. There's traffic again."
Gotcha. Gotcha.
So
Well,
that's kind of what it is.
awesome. Awesome. So, tell us a little bit more about New York. I mean, this is not like any other podcast. This is all about you, getting to know you a little bit better. You've been in New York pretty much your entire life, correct?
My entire life. Yeah, I was born in the now closed St. John's Hospital, if anybody
Okay.
remembers, here on Queens Boulevard.
Okay. All right.
Hmm.
So just, kind of tell us about your youth. I mean, what was the most exciting thing to do when you were younger, when you were coming up in New York, and maybe when you were in college, and even to today's date? Like what are some things that
Yeah.
you enjoy to do and people should look and explore whenever they come to New York? Because a lot of us eye care professionals, when we go, it's Javits Center, Midtown, party, and that's it. But let us know some of the cool things that we've been missing out on.
The cool things are family. That's what it is. I mean, just like the fact that that's kind of gone right now. So when you ask that question, it's completely different. In
Mm,
February, that was like that time in my life, right? All of this February, right before March, I was just running back and forth all over the place. So everything I did was like I would work out, I'd go to work as an optometrist, then I'd hang out with friends, go to the movies, go do something, go do my podcast, go post on Instagram, maybe sleep, and then come back and do it all over again. That's just what it is. It's not necessarily about doing one thing, but the fact that you can do anything,
yeah.
that's more of the feeling of it.
Yeah.
I think, again, Queens, the food doesn't compare to anywhere else, doesn't compare to the city. I mean, no, maybe we don't have Michelin star restaurants, but we have really great, solid lunch options, solid dinner options. It's
It's
the
the
people that make it.
Okay. Well, you
That's
just
what makes
touched
it
on
cool.
something that was pretty interesting. So Queens is known for the food. What are the other barrels or boroughs known for? Does each borough
Well,
have like their
I
main
don't really
thing?
know. So people from Queens don't really know much about Brooklyn and vice versa.
Ah, so you just kind of stay in that own little remote area.
Yes,
Don't
yeah.
go out too much.
No, well, there's no need. Everything's so close. No need to go anywhere else. There's no like quick transportation method from Queens to Brooklyn.
Gotcha.
It's like a solid 2 hour like train
Wow.
ride. But no, for me to get into like Midtown, I'll take the F train. For those of you who know, I live like 1 block away from the Jackson Heights Roosevelt Avenue subway station. All the lines are there, and it just takes me like 5 minutes to get to uh,
Well, people can
something.
relate to you. I see someone saying "Hello, my love." I believe that's how it's
Oh,
expressed
hey,
in
Elsa.
Spanish. Yeah, and then someone says, "I love Brooklyn." That's
Yeah,
Heather.
I've maybe been to Brooklyn like 5 times in my whole life. Oh, I don't know. It's so far. It really is far for me.
And it looks like we have someone from Texas. Uh,
Hi.
yeah. Oh, that's Angela. Hello, Angela. One of these days, I would love to visit New York. Go to Vision Expo. That way, you have a reason to get some continuing education, but also explore the different boroughs. And you have a leader right here to guide you around everywhere, which will be pretty cool.
Yeah, I mean, I'm like, well, if when you did ask what fun thing I don't do that many fun things. I mean, I think my life is pretty exciting. Maybe it isn't to others, but what I like to do is I love to work out. So that's all I'll be doing all the time. Spin class, boot camp, agility. That's where you'll find me once
Gotcha.
things open up again.
All right. Well, it looks like the love for Queens is there, but her friends are from Forest Hills. I don't know New York, so I don't know what she's talking about.
Forest
But
Hills.
yeah,
Oh, I love that. Forest Hills. That's on the other way, but yeah, it's all
gotcha.
good. All central Queens. But what's really incredible about and I did an Instagram post about this,
Okay.
about how differently different zip codes have been affected by this pandemic, and how like access to things is incredibly different. So around where I live, this is the epicenter. I don't know if you have seen the New York Times article about Elmer's Hospital and how severely impacted they have been. In this part of Queens, there's like an average of 4 adults who live like at any point in time to a 1 bedroom apartment.
Okay.
So there's density problems,
Mm, gotcha.
and it's so the one big nightmare that I've been saved from my parents was grocery shopping. So whenever I do come home to Queens, the lines are just like it's a 1 hour wait to even just get groceries in
Oh
every single
wow.
shop. I did a YouTube video on this too.
I need to watch
But
this that.
if you drive 5 minutes down Queens Boulevard and you get to Middle Village where my parents live, it's just like super easy. Like you just walk in and then you have everything there. It's so different.
Gotcha.
Which is why, yeah, I guess it's so different. You would just stay within your own little like
Yeah, you see,
places. There's no need to go anywhere else.
I'm from the South, so I like to jump in my car and go and do what I need to do. I like the access to be able to go to Walmart, to go to my office, to go to the park,
We don't want Walmart here.
Hey, I'm not gonna lie. I'm a Walmart shopper. I'm not gonna lie. I
Oh my
go there
gosh.
routinely. The people probably know me by my first name because I'm in there so much. It's convenient. The area that I live in, there's a Walmart, there's a Target, there's a
Hmm.
Harry Teeter. Whatever you can think of is at your fingertips, and it's all within 5 minutes. So I like that convenience, and that's what I support. Are you more of an independent local person being in New York? Because I'm pretty sure there's a lot of mom and
Oh
pop.
yes, I'm huge about that. That's what like I've noticed. Like I haven't traveled much out of Queens or like New
Yeah,
York either. And whenever I do see other parts of the country, I'm like, there are no mom and pop shops left. That's what I mean by food. How
yeah,
there's a lot of that here.
yeah.
And I am really like anti-Amazon and all that. So I'm not an Amazon Prime
Oh
member.
my,
No.
really?
Yes, I was so
Wow.
happy when they were pushed out. So I
Wow.
do not. We have hardware stores down the block. We have tiny pharmacies down the block too. There's no need.
Yeah.
I got my stuff right here.
And you see, I like to support, local businesses, which we've been doing quite a bit, especially during COVID-19, so they can stay afloat. But for me, it's more of food. My wife and I were big foodies, so we're always
Hmm.
going to some type of local food place or something like that to support. And again, we eat out quite a bit, especially on the weekends. So those folks know us fairly well. But I'm big into supporting local food, restaurants, things of that nature.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah, but there's not a lot of mom and pops grocery chains in the area. So there's not much support you can really do in regards to that. So you might
Yeah.
not like it being in the South because number one, you got to drive. Number two, you're not going to have your mom and pops type of food places. So it might not be your cup of tea.
Yeah, yeah. Oh, Raleigh, Durham. That's right. I
Raleigh
spent
Durham.
6 weeks there. We talked about this.
Yeah, we did. We did.
Yes,
Raleigh
back
Durham
in,
is where.
yeah, I was at the Duke Summer Medical Dental Education
Yeah,
Program. Yeah,
yeah.
I did that. It was fun. It was so different.
Beautiful
Met
place,
friends that I
right?
still. Hmm?
Beautiful place, right?
Yes, I'm sorry. I'm like hard of hearing. I'm not, but I am. Yes, it was gorgeous. The Duke campus was absolutely amazing.
It is beautiful.
What was I must have like just finished my freshman year of undergrad,
Okay.
and we got to shadow a bunch of medical students and MDs. And then I thought, you know what, this might not be for me. But then which is interesting because when I shadowed at SUNY Optometry for one day, I just set foot in there one day and I was like, okay, this is for me. I love it. This is
Oh, you can just
good.
tell
Like I
the
had a good
energy
gut
was right.
feeling.
Yeah. When the energy is right, that's the decision to go with. So I can understand that. It looks like we have some more comments here. Perry Brill was just on a podcast with him yesterday. Great guy, especially when it comes to private practice and amplifying your profits. You guys need to check him out as well as his podcast. Looks like Heather, she misses the subways and public transportation. She just got a car fixed. She's out in
Me
Arizona. I
too,
know you
Heather.
definitely need a car out in Arizona. That's for sure.
Me too, Heather. I miss that. So even though it's been nice that my dad's been driving me, I'm like, it's I just love just like zoning out and just doing my own thing in the subway, listening to other podcasts and all
Yeah.
that. I miss that a lot.
Whenever I ride the subway when I'm in New York, which is rare, I do more Uber now. The the people watching and just the energy around me, I love that.
Hmm.
Sometimes I get so caught up in just looking all around because you're not used to that in the South. I've missed my stop a few times doing
Oh
that.
yeah. I don't even remember what that feels like. I really don't. Like it's crazy. That's all I've ever done is take the subway and
Wow, wow. Oh man, look at this comment here.
it is
Well,
very much a thing, Angela. They were trying. I'm sorry, Dr. Glover. I'm gonna say it. They were trying to bring Amazon to our backyard, and we said no.
Wow.
And thank God we said no.
Oh, look at all the jobs that they would have created. I mean, there's a positive thing with Amazon. It will help
No,
people
there's
these in
no.
lives.
I'm not okay with the gentrification and all that.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, I can understand that. I can definitely understand and vibe with you in regards to that. But
Yeah, no, it's created like affordable housing around the area where Amazon would have been
mhm.
is now this is affordable housing, 1 bedroom, $2,800.
Wow,
So if Amazon would have been there,
wow, $2,800 one bedroom. You can buy in Raleigh,
and
Durham,
it's
North
not, and
Carolina.
it's I can guarantee you it's 700 square feet.
Wow. Yeah, you can get a home in North Carolina for almost about $500,000, and it'll be probably about 3,500 square feet. And
I
that's
don't even know what that is.
yeah,
Can't even hit the 3,500.
that's crazy. That's crazy. But that's why I
Yeah.
live in the South and not in New York because the cost of living there is outrageous. Well, that's pretty cool. You mentioned something earlier. You like to listen to podcasts. I know you love to listen to podcasts, but you have a hit podcast. New York Eye Doc. Let's talk about that. How did you come about that podcast? And what was your
Mhm.
inspiration, motivation, and if you don't mind, just giving an overview of what your podcast is all about, so the folks that may not
Yeah.
be aware of it can actually, go to iTunes, download it, and start listening because you have some
Yes.
good content.
Yes, I'm on Apple Podcasts, Spotify Podcasts, Google Podcasts, all of it. I started the New York Eye Dog podcast in September. I've always loved podcasts. Oh my gosh, which was the first one that I listened to? I'm forgetting the name of it. Lady Lovin'.
What was that about?
Lady Lovin'. It was the reason I heard about this podcast was because the girl who hosted it, she went to the same spin class as me, and I
Yeah.
was like, whoa, there's somebody who actually like hosts podcasts, and I was listening to it. It was wild. It was crazy stuff. But then I love listening to podcasts. I love the Gary V audio experience.
Yeah, Gary Vee is great.
He's great. Do you
Yeah.
listen to him?
Absolutely, he's dope. I love his content. It's funny. I was talking to Perry the other day, and Perry was saying that he's doing the same stuff now. He's not as fresh as he was in the early stages. But I have a couple of his books, and also I listen to his podcast here and there, and a lot of his live stuff. And he drops great content, especially when it comes to marketing and just branding
Yeah.
yourself in general.
He's always right. It's just incredible. I just find that incredible how when you have like a core message and
Yeah.
when you have like a core value, it's super easy to create content around that, which is what he talks about. I love This American Life. That's a great podcast
Okay,
too.
that's a
I've
common
been listening to it. What happened?
I said that's a common one that a lot of folks like. I always hear that when people are talking about podcasts.
Yes, that's a good one. And then Radio Ambulante is an NPR Spanish podcast that I'm really loving. It gives like tiny glimpses into different Latin American cities.
Oh
It's
wow.
absolutely amazing. I love that one.
Okay.
And what else do I love? The Tony Robbins podcast, although the latest one was kind of a little pandemic-y. So I don't know how I feel about that.
Can you elaborate on that a little bit? Give us the details.
Yeah, the latest Tony Robbins podcast was about, I don't know, he sounded like he was all like pandemic, like what was he saying? How ventilators hurt people more and that's what's killing COVID patients more, and how we need to be building up our immune system. And I'm like, whoa, Tony Robbins, like what are you saying?
Yeah, he's supposed to be like all good energy and positive and
I don't know, but usually I love him.
okay.
He's
All right.
great. And yeah, so I love listening to podcasts. And out of that love, I think in 2018, I recorded something really quickly and like it was just like, nah, just me talking. But then later on, I decided, you know what, let me just like start it. And yeah,
Okay.
that's all it is. Just like Gary Vee says, you just have to just document and put it out there. That's
Right,
it.
right. So what's been the toughest part with the podcast? Has there been any obstacles that kind of threw you, or everything's been pretty straightforward and you've been just rocking and rolling? Excuse me, for the most part.
I just like audio, maybe. That's like a thing, you
Okay.
know. Like I do everything off the Anchor app, which goes to show that it doesn't matter what kind of equipment you have, as long as you're documenting and creating and putting stuff out there. That's the most important thing. So like with Anchor app, I'll like sometimes like uninstall it and install it again. But other than that, it's been fun.
Awesome. Awesome. Yeah, that people asking, how did you start? What kind of equipment are you using? Things of that nature for the most.
No, I started it on my iPhone 6S Plus.
There you go.
Anchor app. Just download the Anchor app, start talking into it. No equipment. I only recently upgraded, like in the end of February. And we spoke about this too. I
Yeah.
upgraded to an iPhone 11 Max Pro
Ooh,
on
fancy.
February 29th. And I said, self, you're going to give it 14 days. So on March 14th, 15th, I said, you know what? I'm just going to return it. But that's when Apple Store closed. So now I'm stuck with this.
Oh, okay. All right.
I think I can return it later. But
Well, they were asking, was it pretty easy to start? It sounds like it.
you just pick up the mic and go.
Okay. All right, cool. Well, there you go, Dr. Sig. I know she's thinking about maybe jumping out into the podcast world. This is one of my colleagues.
Everybody has a story to tell.
And she has a lot of great stories just due to her background. She has some kids. She loves eye care. She's a big proponent or fan of, making sure that diabetics get their care. She's been on the news. She just always has a great story. So I love to see her come out with something. So we'll see
Yes,
how that
yeah.
works
We
out.
all have a great story. Hold on a second.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Did that pause? I'm like
No,
figuring
you're
this out.
great.
Okay. Anyways, yeah, and I've had some incredible guests on. I had the amazing Dr. Carly Rose. She's
Oh,
like,
nice. Yes.
I'm bowing down on her. I absolutely love her. She's amazing. And I think you agree with me as well on this, Dr. Darryl, that
Yeah.
the community that we've met like on Instagram and through the podcast is just incredible
Absolutely. It's crazy. It's
and
fun.
refreshing.
Yeah. It's one of those things where, like, when you're in optometry school, you meet your colleagues, and some you're like, oh yeah, I could gel with them, I could kick it with them, they're cool people. And then you get out of school and you're like, oh, am I going to keep this relationship? Yes, maybe no, I don't know. But then you start to meet other people, and you're like, well, damn, this profession is very cool. We got some cool people in this profession with great backgrounds, great stories,
Yeah.
diversity. So I really, really, really love our profession, and I love meeting new people and learning about them and their background as well, which is one of the reasons why I wanted to start this series, because I know you have a real dope personality and background. And the first time that we had the conversation, I was like, man, everyone has to know about you because you are quite amazing.
Oh, thank you so much.
Yeah, yeah,
Thank you.
yeah.
But that's the thing. You find like-minded people and you're able to like dip into like a pool of everybody. And yeah,
Yeah.
it's
Well,
just it's great.
we're getting comments all over the place. So I'm trying to keep up with the comments
Oh.
and you as well.
But yeah, so we've had her. My most recent podcast was with a Miami-based physician, Dr. Moran, and she finds herself right now on the front lines in Guayaquil, Ecuador. I
Okay.
keep saying it like that. Ecuador. It's Ecuador. I keep tripping up like that. Okay. And she's there and she's taking care of patients, and um it's Guayaquil, the port city in Ecuador. It's like the hardest hit city in South America right now.
Mhm.
And yeah.
Gotcha. Well, Dr. Ham is saying that they use microphones, voice memos. I do voice memos, especially with people abroad, because the internet's not always the best in various places, so that helps out tremendously. You just got to keep the same tone whenever you're talking. That way, it doesn't sound like you guys are in different conversations.
Oh yeah.
And here, someone's showing you some
Oh
love.
hey
You are
Renee.
the best. I agree with you. All right, let's see what else we have here. Yes, the optometry community is so tight knit and respectful. Love the optical social media crew. I agree. I mean, there's a lot of heavy hitters out there in the social media crew that's just taking our profession to the next level, not just with the doctor to doctor interaction, but also with the doctor patient interaction. For example, Dr. Rose that you mentioned, she's killing it on TikTok. We got Joey that's killing it in regards to YouTube. So there's a
Yes,
lot
yeah.
of great stars that are out there that's really taking our profession to the next level, which I'm greatly appreciative of as well. Let's go to the next one. I agree. Look at they see you get
Oh,
all
thank
the
you.
love. Awesome. And then we got another comment here. They're not stopping. You're one of the sweetest people, so open and encouraging. I love your spirit.
I love you, Emily. Emily's the best. We've had like a bunch of heart to hearts on. That's again, once again, the community. Yes, before social media, because I graduated in 2015, so it wasn't like a big thing then. And I was
Yeah,
just telling Emily about this, how you kind of feel like limited as to who you know, and then maybe you kind of don't have anybody you can share like similar experiences with. But
mhm.
once things open up, like on TikTok and on Instagram,
Yeah,
everybody's like minded and there to have a good time, and
yeah.
that's just like it's fun.
I agree. And one thing about Emily that I love is that she's so authentic. She puts it out there, and there's so many people that hide behind closed doors with certain things, but she just puts it out there, and it just makes it easier to
Yes.
talk to her, and also makes it easier for people to come out with whatever issues or problems that they may have. Because at the end of the day, we're all human. We can all talk to each other.
Oh
Let's
yeah,
learn from each other.
absolutely.
Let's grow. Like if I need to, lay on your shoulder and you hold me down, make it happen. And the same thing's going to happen over here. We all are going to work together to be great people and grow our profession to be even better.
Yes, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. Looks like someone else was commenting on in regards to Emily's comment about you being open and encouraging. And looks like
Oh,
we have another comment here. Do you record your episodes weekly?
Yes.
Okay,
Who,
so
me?
you do it. Yeah, we do ours. Like we have so much content built up that
When
ideally,
did you start Defocus Media?
and I think it might have been like 3.5 years ago, possibly. And we started doing podcasts probably at right at 3 years. A lot of people don't know this, and it's a great question, is that Defocus Media was not initially a podcast. It was actually a social media management company where we did Facebook, Instagram, Twitter for all the eye care professionals.
Hmm.
And I was talking to my colleague, Dr. Jennifer Lyerly, which is a brilliant young lady, by the way. And I was like, Jen, we need more customers. So let's do a podcast. She's like, Darryl, how are we going to do a podcast? I don't know anything about podcasts. I said, well, there's YouTube. I'll figure it out. And we did the podcast to try to, get more people to listen to us, and then, put in our blurb about social media.
Hmm.
And it just grew. So we pivoted. We left the social media management alone, and we just kept running with the podcast. And that's what you have today, Defocus Media, over 100,000 downloads. So, we're happy about it. We've been blessed for sure.
Oh, that's great. Oh
Yeah.
my gosh, I clicked something and oh, here we go. I'm out. Hold on. Okay.
You're here. We see you. You're
I
fine.
was not paused. Good.
No,
Good.
that's the cool thing
I
about this software is that you well, I know at least from my end, if I go look up something online, you'll still see my face. And I think it's the same thing on your end as well. So yeah.
yeah.
All right. Heather says, I can't wait one day to meet you, hopefully when I'm home in New York City. Heart.
Yes.
And let's see here. We got Emily. You guys are the sweetest. I'm working on a new IG live for tomorrow.
Oh my God.
Raymondi, how do you think optometry changed? How optometry school changed you? For the students out there, did you ever think that you would end up where you are and where you are now when you were in optometry school? I'll let you take this one first, ladies first.
Thank you for this question, Emily. Well, to be really honest with you, I did not like optometry school. I had a really hard time those 4 years, and it actually kind of broke me. So
Oh,
when I graduated from undergrad, I was like top of the class, everybody knew me. I never had to work on introducing myself, that sort of thing. I was going to school with people who look like me. It was effortless. So I went in there, as everybody else. Everybody else was just like me, top of the class. Everybody knew them. And, things get sorted out. And I didn't find myself at the top anymore. And that really broke down my self-esteem. My social skills, I guess I didn't have them. I realized that too. I didn't know how to talk to people. I personally don't drink. And oh my gosh, this is getting too negative. But that's
no,
every
this is
single
great. This is
every
great.
single event at school was around drinking. Our very first socializing event was at a bar.
Yeah.
And I was highly uncomfortable at all these things. So I never went to these things. So I never felt connected, except for with a handful of people.
Yeah.
So it changed me a lot. When not when I graduated, I guess when I started clinic and I saw that this is what I'm going to be doing for the rest of my life, that I'm going to be seeing patients, and that's what it's really all about. Then I was like, okay, great. There's a light at the end of the tunnel. It's going to be amazing. And then on graduation day, it was amazing. I was so happy. And to the second part of that question, in fourth year, Dr. Soden had us write out our 5-year plan. And I just looked at it recently for another YouTube video. And in my 5-year plan, I wrote, I want to work at a community-based hospital. And I'm doing that right now. It's just, I'm living my dream. So even if you have not the best experience, because let's face it, it can look on social media sometimes, not with Emily at all, but it can look like things are perfect and they're like, oh, studying, look at me, #study inspo. But it's not like that. And so for me, it broke me and I had to rebuild and relearn who I am now. And I had to sort of work on the passion that I have for this career and really build on that. But that's just like anything in life. You have to work on it daily, and that's how you can really build good connections and really love what you do. So now I really love what I do. And maybe if I hadn't had such a hard time, I wouldn't have been so passionate, and I would have had this platform that I do now.
Yeah. Well, for me, it's crazy. Before I went to optometry school, I was always kind of like a BC student. So to when I went to optometry school, I actually learned how to study, believe it or not, because I went my entire life not knowing how to study properly. And being in optometry school, I learned how to study. So with that being said, it actually made me just look at things differently and assess things differently. So it kind of made me a better person going through optometry school. It was difficult as hell. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah.
There were some times where I called my now wife and I was like, "Yo, baby, I'm coming home," and she was like, "No, you're not. You're gonna stay there and you're gonna finish up this program, and then you're gonna come home and then you're gonna practice." And you know, being in optometry school, the other thing that it really like made me more sensitive to or changed me was it made me realize that the circle I have around me is a great circle, you know, like, and that, you know, you can't take them for granted for the most part because
Mm-hmm.
between my wife, my mom, some of my best friends, you know, they really held me down. I mean, I remember when we were in optometry school, you know, I still was trying to party like a rock star, going to the NBA All-Star Weekend in different cities throughout the year and things of that nature. And my friends would just they would just hold me down. They'd be like, "Hey, man, you're dealing with school, study during the day. Don't worry about the finances. We got you. We'll take care of you." And they just held me down, you know, whether it was, you
Mm-hmm.
know, mentally, physically, financially, whatever it may be. They made me realize the value that I have around me, and they realized, and school made me realize that I know how to study and I know how to just tackle life in general. And one of my things that is funny, I was just talking to someone. I can't remember her name right now. It's gonna kill me for not remembering her name. But anyways, when we first started optometry school, we had to draw out pictures of where we thought we would be when we got out
Mm-hmm.
of optometry school. And for me, I had put on there an entrepreneur, different businesses, and things like that. And it actually came to fruition. So that was pretty cool to actually see that happen. And I completely forgot about it until she brought it up on a social forum, maybe about a month ago, actually. So that's my story. Let me stop talking because I can keep running my mouth day in and day out. But we have some things here. Emily said, "Thank you so much. Thanks for sharing. That's so real." You got another shout out from Jennifer.
Hi, Jennifer.
Yeah.
What
Oh,
did you like? How did your study habits change?
so I just wasted a lot of time studying the wrong things and not
Like in
understanding.
undergrad?
Yeah, in undergrad, like it was. I don't know what the hell I was doing. I wasn't. I think I was just. It was more memorization than actually really processing things.
Comprehension. Yeah,
You
yeah.
know what I'm saying? And
Mm-hmm.
you know, with optometry school, yeah, there are some things that are memorization, but there you have to understand how certain things work. You know, as far as the mechanisms, especially when it comes to pharmaceuticals and things of that nature, and just how the body works and things of that nature for the most part. And once I was able to put that click down and realize that I don't need to spend a million hours studying and finding the right time where my brain actually works, which is real early in the morning, waking up at like 5, between 7, and that's when I get the most things done. It changed my entire career from there. Yeah,
Do you still wake up early, right?
yeah, 5 every morning.
Even
Right,
now
even
with
now,
shelter in place?
even
All
now,
right.
I get
That's
so much
great.
done in the morning. You know, I do work. I work on myself. I try to work out now that I've had this little bit of downtime. So yeah, I'm a morning
Mm-hmm.
person. What can I say?
That's good.
But I will be hanging out with Jennifer tomorrow. We're gonna do top 5 eyewear at 5 o'clock. So make sure you guys tune in. And
Oh
she
yeah,
also has,
opticianista_LA. Yeah,
you
we did
got
a
it.
podcast together too. It was
Yeah.
amazing.
And
She's
she
so
has a
good.
project that she just released, so I'm very excited for her to share that tomorrow as well. So I'm looking
Yeah,
forward
her
to that.
visionary wild
You
glasses.
got it, you got it. So I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah.
Shout out to my man Ryan Court. Does Darryl Glover sleep? Boss on fire. Let me tell you guys something about Ryan, man. Ryan is also a very genuine person. Ryan and I, you know, he's an entrepreneur. I'm an entrepreneur, and a lot of people won't do this. I remember Ryan and I were talking about sponsorships and sponsors and things like that. And
Hmm.
this guy sent over his whole list of connections for sponsorships. He didn't have to do that. He could have said, man, do it on your own. But he sent a detailed list of all the sponsors, the name of the people to go to, and everything. And he just willingly just gave it up. He will give you anything that you need. He's just a wealth of knowledge and a great resource just a genuine guy, because a lot of people don't give out that information. They'll make you work hard for it or suffer through it or whatever. But he's always been nice, always been kind. I could text him anytime. He'll answer the phone, and he knows the same thing goes for me as well. But he's just a genuine person. So you guys make sure you follow him. I know he has a new project coming out, so I need to get him on the show as well. Ryan Reflects. I'm looking forward to that. It's like a journey through his life of learning leadership and being an entrepreneur and things of that nature as well. Let's see here. Have a question here. I'll leave this one to you.
I did a TikTok on this, Renee. I'm gonna send it to you. It could be stress. Which eyelid is this happening to? DM me. Renee goes to my spin class. We are both at Army members. We are all about that fitness life. So that's how I know Renee.
All right. That's what's up.
Yeah.
All right. Solid.
DM me, Renee.
All right. Some more comments there. Looks like these are just coming in. I'm trying to make sure I'm clicking the right one and not missing any. I apologize if I missed anyone's question there. Here we go.
You do need to see me. I know, girl. Girl, I'm gonna send you that TikTok. I'm gonna find you. I have your number.
Oh yeah, I could definitely send you that, Dr. Seek. I'll send a picture of it and send it over to you as well.
What do you read every morning?
It's two.
Oh wait, let's share our favorite books. Oh, it's not here.
My wife got me this a long time ago. It's the Men's Devotional Bible. So I read this every morning.
I don't know why I got real close. I'm sorry.
So this, and then also whenever I go to, I hate to say it, Walmart, they always have these nice little books there. So I always pick up these things and just.
I love that. Read us one.
Well, okay. Well, let's read.
I need.
Let's read the. Let's go to the first one. How about that? All right. So, actually, where's the first one? All right. So here we go. And this is something that a lot of optometrists actually feel, right? This one is titled, "I am overwhelmed by my responsibilities." Uh-oh.
I was getting handed my favorite book.
I was gonna say, man down, sit in the reserve.
This is one of my. Continue. Excuse me.
Oh, it's all good. But it's, I am overwhelmed by my responsibilities. Now, there's a whole lot, so I'm not gonna read through all of it. But let's see. I'll just read the first couple of sentences so people can kind of get the overall view. But basically what they'll do is they'll give a key verse, they'll put something where it says understand, and then they'll say apply. And I'll just read a few sentences from the apply. It says, although we may never be called to endure all that the Apostle Paul did in the service to God, we all have times when our lives overwhelm us. Our to-do list just keep getting longer. No matter how hard we try, we can't seem to catch up. We may not think that we're going to actually die from the pressure as Paul did, but we do feel frustrated and hopeless and discouraged. We may blame others for putting these demands on us, or we may blame ourselves for not betting or being able to accomplish more. But Paul said that there's a solution to this problem. Stop trying to do so much in our own strength. Day by day, put it all in God's hands. He will accomplish to us what he needs us to do, and whatever remains undone, we can trust him to handle. And then it has a prayer that goes at the end as well. So it's just one of those things, it starts your day off right, your energy is right. So when you go into patient care, you don't have that negative mindset or thinking about something that you need to be done, doing. You just jump right into business with a big smile on your face. So that's what gets me going every day for the most part. But let's see what you have there.
Well, this is not my favorite book, but this is what my darling husband threw. We're like two teenagers who happen to live. It's crazy. My life is crazy. This book, it's all dirty. So I'm hiding it like that. Principles by Ray Dalio. Absolutely amazing, illuminating.
Someone was talking about that. Perry Brill was talking about that book yesterday. Yeah.
Here's one quote. I have not failed. I've just found 10,000 ways that do not work.
I like that. Let's get another one. That's good. Let's get
another one.
Yeah, why
not? There was a really great chapter on here about being radically open-minded.
Okay.
which I was doing just last night and this morning
Okay.
in terms of the whole pandemic video. I
Okay.
was like, let me be open-minded. Let me
That really
listen.
threw you off, right?
Oh goodness. I texted my friend Sarah Hoshby, she's on here. I was like, how am I supposed to be in high spirits for this after watching this? So basically, but the principle, the reason for me bringing that up is that I wanted to be open-minded and hear both sides, because clearly we're in the whole situation we are in as a country because we're not hearing each other out. And
True.
so I'm like, let me completely watch this video. And I gave it a chance until the last 5 minutes. I'm like, oh my God, I totally wasted my time. But I'm happy that I did, because now I am more of a firm believer in my values. So there's one whole chapter on here about being radically open-minded.
I need to get that book. I need to get that book.
Where's the other one? I'm trying to find a good one.
Yeah. Take your time. And while you do that, I'm going to go through some of these highlights that are here. Love what you're doing. Keep up the good work. That's Bill Gerber. If you guys don't know about his company, OMG Content, y'all need to check that out. He's the guy that comes into your office, changes everything as far as your signage, your signs, your frame board setup. I mean, he changed the game with it. He's a rock star when it comes to that stuff. Did you
I
find
found
it?
a beautiful one.
Yes, let's hear
Are
it.
you all ready?
We are ready. Hold on, roll.
This one's so good.
Let's do it.
So, rather than getting stuck hiding our mistakes and pretending we're perfect, it makes sense to find our imperfections and deal with them. You will either learn valuable lessons from your mistake and press on, better equipped to succeed, or you won't and you will fail.
Okay. I'm picking that book up. If you don't mind just holding it up so everyone can see it again, that way they can.
It's dirty.
That means you use it quite a bit. That's all. Just a little more. You look at it every day.
It's taken me a solid year to go through it. I'm finally down here. Because
Nice.
you really got to sit with it and digest it.
Yeah.
This is the key.
Absolutely. Absolutely. All right. Well, let's see where we're at here. Ursula saying so proud of
That's
you.
my cousin. She's in Peru right now. Hi, Ursula.
Shout out to your cousin. All right.
Estás?
All right. We have advanced eye care consultants in the building. I see you.
Hi. Hi, AC.
And looks like Dr. Sika, love that. Thanks for reading and sharing what you read. Awesome.
Yes.
And let's see. Joseph Booz. Yes, opening up your mind takes work, and it does help you grow and learn more about yourself.
It does.
That's what's up. And Dr. Ham, love this. We need to understand that we aren't the same, and as we approach each other with grace, we will all have opportunity to grow. Amen. Talk that talk, Dr.
Yes. Yeah, we have to hear out the other side. You just have to.
Absolutely. And love that energy, honesty, quote sharing, all that jazz. Now, I can't believe we've been on for 48 minutes already. I feel like we just got started. I want to cover a couple more things and not hold everyone up. Something that, a lot of people don't really know about you, unless they're probably real close to you, is charity work. And I would love for you just to share with the folks, some of the stuff that you're doing in the community. Because you're really changing lives out there, not just in patient care, but with stuff that you do outside of your practice as well.
Yes, yeah, thank you. So since I was an optometry student, so I guess in 2014, I started volunteering with Sights on Health, which is a nonprofit that does medical missions and specifically eye missions to not only Peru, but to other parts of the world in need. But initially, the organization was called A Promise to Peru. So when I first heard about it, it was through Dr. Pace from SUNY.
Okay.
And she sent out an email blast about it. And both of my parents are Peruvian.
Okay.
And so I felt like the need to give back to my community in that way. So in 2014, I went on my first mission trip with 2 other optometry students. And I just kept going back every year. And so far, I've gone on 5 medical mission trips with them.
Nice.
Not only do they provide eye exams, but we also go down with ophthalmologists. So we'll do life-changing cataract surgeries for patients in remote villages in the Sacred Valley of Peru. So it's so remote that the patients there don't even speak Spanish. They speak Quechua, which is
Okay.
the ancient language of the Andes. It's so ancient, my parents don't even know it.
Oh, wow.
They don't know it. Or, well, if we're gonna get, like historical about it, I think most people were discouraged from speaking it.
Okay.
But
Okay.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what it is. But and they don't have any running water there. Well, they do, but it's like hardly any. It's really cold in the winter, and it's.
Okay, cool. And I know you've done some work where I know that you're a workout queen, and with your nonprofit that you work with, you did something with cycling, right? Didn't you do some type of project
I
where you
did.
yeah,
Oh,
talk
that was
about
like one of
that.
the
That was
top
a good
best days of
story.
my life.
Yeah, let's talk about it.
That was amazing. So that was last March, March 2019, March 22nd, 2019. Back then, all of us at Army, we were at Soul Cycle. So we figured out how to do a charity ride. It was a lot of red tape to get that to happen. First with the Soul Cycle Corporation, and then to fill up all the bikes, we sold bikes. So the way that worked is one 45-minute class, like you bought a ticket, and if you wanted to ride in the front row, it was I think $150,
Okay.
and the other like 40 or so bikes were $100, and all the proceeds went straight to our missions for that year in
Nice.
2019. And it was incredible. We raised $6,000. We had our favorite instructor, Akin Akman, leading the way. It was amazing. And what else did we do? Yeah, it was a great way to talk about optometry, to talk about the mission work.
Wow. And what are you doing now? What projects do you have moving out?
Well, that's funny you say that. So we were planning on doing another charity ride, but then this happened. So who knows when gyms were going to open back up.
Okay.
But right now, because Sights on Health is New York based, we are raising funds for frontline New York hospital workers. So even though I'm not in the front line, I'm doing televisits. Basically, a lot of our participants work at the New York City Health and Hospital System.
Okay.
And a lot of them are in the ICU right now, in the ER right now. So that inspired our group to start raising funds. And we have a GoFundMe right now. So on Instagram, it's at Sights on Health.
Okay.
Again, it's a nonprofit. All the proceeds are going straight right now for meals for our frontline workers. If you, the thing about Queens is that since it is a lot of mom and pop restaurants, even though restaurants are open for takeout, that's mainly the franchise ones. So there's not that many choices
Oh, wow.
here. A lot of them are closed. So
Okay.
you have to go far to
Got-
get food.
Gotcha.
So that's what we're doing right now, raising funds for our frontline New York hospital workers.
Well,
And
that's
there's GoFundMe's all over. It's on my Facebook too.
yeah. Well, send me the information so whenever we put this out to repurpose, we'll definitely put the link there, and hopefully we can get some donations.
Yes, yeah. We've already raised $21,000, but we
Wow.
still, need some more because this isn't going away, and we need to feed everybody.
Yeah. Well, one thing that you've really touched on pretty much this entire, hangout session, I guess you could say, is your Hispanic background, Latinx background. Let's talk about that because one cool thing that I love about optometry is the diversity that's there. You know, from seeing more African American faces, which we need to do better. There's only about 3% African Americans, and I think
Mhm.
7 are male. So we definitely need to do better. It's no doubt about that. But I'm seeing more Hispanic faces. I'm seeing, of course, more women in the industry. It's not the typical Caucasian male industry anymore. So I love the diversity. But let's talk a little bit about your background in regard to where you're from, which I think you touched on earlier, and then also how that is in patient care and an interaction that you get from your patients as well.
Yeah, so I'm from Queens. I think I've only spent, yeah, that's another like PSA thing since we're hanging out. Don't ask someone, you didn't. But I remember somebody this week Someone this week went on my DMs and said, "Where are you from?" And I was like, "Oh my gosh, I thought like everybody knew not to ask that." You know, you knew. I was like, "Oh wait, but I'm from Queens, Middle Village. My parents came here from Peru in 1986, around there, and then they had me at 1989. And since I'm an only child, they got it right the first time.
Shout out to your mom and dad for getting it right.
I'm just kidding. No, but I guess I'm switching gears in terms of parenting, but you know, when you're growing up, you got all this like teen angst and everything. But now that I'm going to be 31 soon, I just realized that they parented the heck out of me. They were so good with what they did, with what they do now. It's amazing. And it's just amazing. Like now, obviously, like after so long, they have learned a lot of English, but it just fascinates me how many like field trip notes they had to sign and things they had to do without my help, because like I was a little older when I get help them. But yeah, in terms of that, you know, my dad's hardworking, so it's been difficult to get him to stop working because he like didn't have to
Right.
necessarily. But then I was and I have conversations with my followers on Instagram all the time about this, how for us as Latinos it's about survival and work equals survival. It's very confusing for our parents' generation to get that taken away from them. So yes, they're both from Peru, they're both from Lima. They both had, now as I'm learning now, they both had really, really humble beginnings. So, life is long, and I think it's just incredible where they're there now.
Yeah, and I love seeing the Latinos, Latinas. I always get it confused, but I just know there's a good representation. I love what Dr. Brassfield is doing. Dr. Lena down in Miami. They're always representing. Any time I go to a conference or doing something online, they're always representing or giving me some tips and advice in regards to how to communicate better with that population. Because again, being an African American male, there's certain things that you should not say in the exam room when you're talking to an African American. There's certain products that you should have in your practice as well. So, I just love that everyone is bringing this diversity to our profession. It's becoming a big melting pot, and it's just going to help us learn from each other and serve our patients better, because we all have different demographics that we cater to when it comes to patient care.
Yeah, absolutely. I think one thing that, as I said, with my parents, they're incredibly hardworking. It kind of is to a fault though, because they
Mhm.
identify with it so hard that they don't stop. So one big thing is that a lot of times patients are going to come only when a problem is really serious. So that's, I think that's kind of like my new thing that I want to gear more awareness for, patient education in terms of prevention, like to not wait until things are so bad, to not put work first so much, to care for your eyes and all those things too. In terms of like communicating with them, as long as good intentions go far. And the reason I say that is because I practice in Queens and the city. I get people from all over. I've had to do exams where the person speaks Arabic, the person speaks Polish, and we have no way of communicating.
Yeah,
So, isn't like body language 80% of communication? So
absolutely.
that way, doing that, showing effort and being genuine about it, that's the best thing.
Gotcha. Well, again, I don't want to hold everyone up all night. I mean, we've pretty much killed the game today. I feel like I know you. I feel like you're my blood now, my sister. I know everything about you. We've been hanging out
You
together.
know too much.
But one thing I did want to end the conversation on is just getting to know you a little bit more. So what I'm going
Mhm.
to do is take 1 minute, and I know I didn't tell you this prior to the show. Actually, I didn't tell you much about prior to the show. We just been talking
Yeah.
about conversation, which is what I'm going to do moving forward, because it just is so authentic and it's great information and it's just a natural conversation. But what I want to do is ask you a series of questions,
Hmm.
two options. You give me one answer, and we're going to do it within a minute. Okay. So let me
Okay.
get the alarm clock set, and we're going to get started.
All
Okay.
right.
Are you ready? Are
Yes.
you sure?
Yeah.
All right. Here we go. Just give me the answer. Okay. All right. So the minute has started. Essilor or Zeiss? Which one do you prefer?
Essilor.
Which color do you prefer, black or white?
What?
Black
Light?
or white? Okay.
Black.
All right. And hotel or camping?
Hotel.
Instagram or Facebook?
Instagram. Goodbye, Facebook.
Dailies Total One or Clarity One Day?
Daily's Total One. Forget Clarity one day.
United
It
States,
doesn't work.
United States or Peru?
Wait, United States. I'm American. I'm 100% American. The
Rap,
people need to know.
hip hop, or Latin music?
Neither. I just like
You gotta pick one.
hip hop.
Low vision or pediatrics?
Pediatrics.
Dog or cat?
Cat. Oh my God, pause.
I
no, but like I need this. So like I just recently lost my cat.
Oh, I'm sorry about that.
Yeah, and like it was crazy. I've been very lucky and blessed that I have not lost anyone like my whole life.
Yeah.
So dealing with the loss of my cat who I've had for 14 years, I've had her all through optometry school, everything it's just been crazy. It's also been crazy because it's been curbside like vet appointments, and she's been really sick up until now. So it was tough, but me and my husband, we are cat people to the end.
Oh wow. You see, I'm not gonna lie, I've never been a big fan of cats. I've been more of a dog guy. My wife is not a pet person at all, so I bought a little goldfish. It's not even a goldfish. It's a betta fish. And I bought it when she was out of town, and I took a picture of it when she was out of town, and she went crazy. But we still have that betta fish. It's been about a year and it hasn't died yet. So we're right.
I need a picture.
I'll send a picture. I got to clean the tank first. Well, I don't clean it. She cleans it. But I need to make sure it's clean before I send the picture. But I'll definitely post it and send it.
Yeah, but yesterday I picked up my my cat's little urn thing, and I was like, oh my gosh, this is what it's like. So I have it.
Well, people are sending their condolences, and I send mine as well.
Oh, thank you guys.
Yeah. But hey, this has been great. I really enjoyed getting to know you better, and I'm pretty sure everyone that's hanging out with us tonight is feeling the same. And we definitely got to bring you back at a later time. I mean, because your energy is just perfect. I mean, it doesn't get any better than this.
Oh, thank you. Thanks so much. This is great.
Yeah.
Thanks for having me on.
Yeah. Well, thanks for being the first guest. I mean, this is history in the making here. For those that may want to get in touch with you or contact you, if you don't mind just leaving some contact information, whether it's a social media handle or your email address or the podcast, so they can get to learn more about all the amazing things that you do.
Yes, so I am on Instagram all day, every day. Please follow me, you too, Renee, at New York Eye Doc spelled out. So that's at NEWYORKEYEDOC. And if you Google my name, Dr. Damaris Raymondi, or if you Google New York Eye Doc podcast, you can find it there. For your listeners, I'll give you my email. My email is damarisray@gmail.com. Any questions, you just want to talk, I am here. I've never felt so connected as I do now, which is really funny, but that's just how it works. So my email again is damarisray@gmail.com. Any questions about anything?
Awesome. Well, it looks like someone, Kate, Dr. Ham, said that so much love from one cat heart to another.
Yes.
Will Cole's a big cat lover as well. I always see him on Instagram actually walking his cat. I don't know if you see that. I think it's like the most hilarious thing in the world.
No, I haven't seen. Who?
Will Toe, the traveling OD.
Oh, yes. Yeah.
He has a cat, and even when they're doing their hangout parties, he always has the cat on him or doing something with the cat or have these cool cat daddy shirts. I mean, he's a true cat lover. There's no doubt about that. Looks like someone got it. Love this. You are great.
You're great, Heather.
And then it looks like someone even wrote it out for you. Man, they're putting you out there. Yeah, we're getting a lot of great energy. Should Dr. Damaris and I end up just doing this show together? Is that a yes? Is that what you guys are telling us?
We can just like host everyone.
Should we make that happen? Can we get a yes? Can people give us some feedback before we get off? I mean,
yes, everyone put the little clappy hands emoji if you want that to happen. Like that, the little clappy hands.
Clap. But hey, we might have to look at that and see what's up. I mean, this has been great. I like the chemistry here, and again, you're a great personality. But thank you guys so much for tuning in. We're getting the claps now. We're getting the yes.
Yeah.
Everyone is coming in now. So hey, we'll see what we can make happen off
Yes.
camera and see it's a thing for you guys. All right.
And then do the prayer emoji hands, guys, so that everyone stays safe.
There you go. You got to stay blessed up and stay safe. That's for sure. More heads are coming.
Yes, thank you guys for joining. It got really real, but
Yeah,
you guys were here for it.
All right, you guys. Well, it's your favorite optometrist, Dr. Darryl Glover, and everyone's favorite New York eye doc, Dr. Damaris Raymondi. We look forward to hanging out with you guys next time. Thanks, and stay safe out there. All right. Talk to you later.
Bye.